OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, what a great start. Obviously, we can tell Ross isn't here because G hit the outro, not the intro.
I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, you should have just rolled with it and just
maneuvered.
Just done it. She really brought it from
order. He's got outro first and intro second. Why wouldn't you have them in order?
It's not even in alphabetical order either because intro goes before outro. But anyway, it's besides the point.
So hello everybody and welcome to our Survivor Series predictions. We have Vanvleet with us this week. You want to go ahead and tell them a bit about yourself and plug yourself real quick?
I can do that. Well, I'm glad I'm here. I've sparked some chaos with the outro already. But hi, my name is Vanvleet. I make wrestling content. I make music. I stream on Twitch and TikTok. I'm all over the place. So I got my song. What's hot is this? Right here.
I didn't even know myself.
Go listen to my music. And yeah, G and Courtney are awesome and super excited to be back. It's been since WrestleMania that I've been on here.
WrestleMania, yeah.
I know.
I do have to say I do really enjoy your music. Sunflower Boots is like if Sunflower Boots is not in my top 5 on Spotify rap this year, I haven't listened to it enough.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm very nervous for Spotify rap, I will be honest, because I already know mine's all going to be wrestling music from streaming. I don't listen to wrestling music outside of streaming, but
that's fair.
It's so much that it's going to be my entire top 5. But
I'm nervous as well.
And, maybe I'll get tagged in an Instagram story or something. And
you might. And if not, we'll make it next year's challenge for one of us to at least get Vanvleet as our top artist.
The official music of the Outcasted OC podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. We should. We need to collab. We need to work on this.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes out for 2025, guys. Right. Let's get into our SummerSlam, Survivor Series. I've just wrote SS at the top, so to me that's SummerSlam. Survivor Series predictions. Guys, I am so tired today. Like, I went to a concert last night. I didn't get home till midnight. I've been at work all day.
Oh, man.
Just do it now. End it.
But it's for the memes, though.
Yeah, Ross, we missed you.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Survivor Series predictions. We have 5 matches on the card. We have 2 War Games matches, a World Heavyweight Championship match, an IC match, and a United States Championship match. I think we will kick off with one of the War Games matches. We will go for the Women's War Game match, which is Team Liv versus Team Rhea. Team Liv is Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez and Candice LeRae versus Team Rhea, which is Rhea, Bianca, Io, and Naomi. Jade Cargill was in there, but she has been injured and has been replaced with Bayley, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I'm sure I'm right there. So, Van, do you want to go first? Give us your predictions.
Yeah, I can go first. I am kind of intrigued with the whole Bayley thing because it's kind of weird. They finally have kind of on Raw made the first sort of hints that like people aren't okay because for some reason they acted like Io and Bianca don't have beef and that like Rhea and Io don't have beef. Like it was really weird how they didn't acknowledge these people that had feuds this year. Like even Io and Bayley in like the last like few weeks had kind of like not even hinted that they had any issues. So I'm glad they kind of finally brought that up because it was weird. And I think that's just a nature of Rhea getting injured or whatever. The whole thing was super weird. The build was weird. But the redemption for me is Tiffany Stratton, and the intrigue is what she's going to do and how a cash-in would work in the ring with 10 women and what kind of chaos that could bring. So I'm not really sure how it's going to work. I think we're going to get a cash-in just because that chaos would be immaculate. I think we're going to get I think we're going to get a heel team win here just because I cannot imagine the 2 champions losing. But yeah, Bianca Belair wins LOL, so you never know.
So just to confirm, that was a Team Liv win, yeah?
Yeah, Team Liv win.
Yeah, cool.
So the amount of times I have screenshotted this match graphic from WWE only to have another one released where I have to delete it from my camera roll and then have the... Honestly, like my recently deleted section is just crying at me right now. this match to me is very intriguing for different reasons, and it's also very weird for different reasons. I think one thing that we're forgetting to mention is that both teams are not stable. Both teams have interpersonal dynamics with each other that could rear its ugly head during the match. You have the team of, obviously, as Van had mentioned, Bianca Belair. You have 4 out of 5 of those people that do not trust. They literally don't trust anybody on their team.
No.
Communication in that aspect, the way that something could go wrong in that aspect is very high for the team of Bianca. The same goes for Liv Morgan's team. You have personal dynamic of Nia Jax is taking Candice LeRae more seriously than Tiffany because Candice has been able to help Nia out during this, and Tiffany's jealous of this. She's trying to get her vengeance on Nia Jax and is trying to pick her moment in that sense as well too. And you obviously have the dynamics with Nia and Liv just competing at Crown Jewel as well too. Are they on the same page? So the whole idea of this match to me is just, I'm very intrigued. I'm very concerned. I'm also really interested to see who the one was that attacked Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Naomi. I've seen people throw out Bianca's name. I've seen people throw out Bailey's name as well too. So interested to see why she was pulled from that as well. But I am going to go with a team of Liv because I feel as though you don't want to have your champions lose in such a way like this. I feel like the way that you could have somebody like Candice, take the win for this match. She could secure the win for the team, and then you could potentially see Tiffany try and capitalize off this moment. Is this the right time if Nia's been taken out in the match quite badly? But I don't necessarily think a successful one could happen in this moment. This match to me is just an epitome of how my brain feels. It's just all over the place. I just don't understand it. And I also was really annoyed as well with you too, Van, about how they did not mention any of the previous history with the babyface team. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense how they didn't mention that, Bailey has had issues with Bianca and the same with Bianca and Io. And they obviously had that face-off between Bianca and Rhea, which obviously will tease us for some match at some point in time. I'm just confused. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to make sense of it all, and it hurts my little brain. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
No, I agree. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's a lot going on here. Like, I understand the whole Liv versus Rhea. It makes sense. But I don't know if War Games is the right place to do this because I feel like they've just thrown 2 random teams together. There's not any real legitimate building between them. As you said, a lot of the teammates don't trust each other as it is anyway. So is this a way for them to have teams turn on each other? Is this a way for them to build more feuds going forward with other people? I'm not entirely sure what Triple H is cooking here, but hopefully it plays out in a way that we want it to. I personally have gone for a team Rhea win. I couldn't see them bringing Rhea back for her to lose again. Do you know what I mean? Like, she hasn't had anything really since Liv took the title. She come back, they fought a few times, and it's just gone nowhere. I don't know. I just feel like Rhea's team's gonna win. I definitely think we're gonna see some shenanigans from Tiffany Stratton. I do think this could be a potential cash in. I don't know how much longer she could hold it for, But then we said this about Damian Priest, and then he did it literally at Mania. It's an awkward situation, but I'm going to go for a team Rhea.
I do fear that the only reason that Bailey has been inserted into this match, though, is if Liv Morgan's team does win, is to take the pin. Because going into the match, everybody else has a lot going on. Obviously, Bianca is one half of the women's tag team champions. Io is the number 1 contender for that world championship of Liv Morgan's. Rhea Ripley is Rhea Ripley. And Naomi's off doing whatever she's doing at the moment. She's obviously chasing after the United States Championship over on SmackDown. So my fear is that Bailey's only been inserted into this match to potentially take the pin, and then everyone else is really upset, being like, well, we obviously brought her in to try and help us out, and she couldn't even do that, But that's just a fear I have in my mind about Bailey's just insertion into the match, though.
Yeah, and then I've seen other sources say that Jade Cargill isn't actually injured, and then I've seen some sources say that she is legitimately injured. So I wonder which way it actually is, or whether it is storytelling and maybe she could turn up or something. There could be a lot of things that could go on.
For me, it really feels like it's literally just a War Games match to the sake of having a women's War Games match.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would Tiffany Stratton for me is the reason why I'm excited for the match.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Io Sky's going to do something crazy. Candice LeRae is going to do something crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially like, I mean, like as y'all said, like Nia and Liv just had a feud, and it's a whole weird thing, but it's a whole mess. But it'll cook. The match will be fun, but we can't forget about how mid the build was.
Yeah, I think it's just the amount of twists and turns that this match has taken. And when you think you've got a team confirmed, you have to watch the next week and see that someone else has been taken out and been inserted. And I just want to go off quickly what you said about how it feels like a women's War Games match for the sake of a women's War Games match.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Hell in a Cell until they realized that they don't actually need to do it. Hell in a Cell is the final destination when your feud has gotten to the point where it's that intense that is what you need to blow off that feud. I don't like how it feels as though, the men's have a War Games match, so we have to do a women's. You don't have to. You just want to. That's the difference for me. And I'm just, obviously, it's going to be amazing. I feel like Io is going to put a trash can on her head and she's going to jump off the cage, and I'm so excited for that. But I just want to mention really quickly the amount of women in these teams that have come from that original NXT War Games match as well actually just makes my heart so happy. Like you have the Raquel, you've got Bianca, you've got Rhea, you have Io, you've got Candice. Like this is just so insanely NXT early days coded by Triple H. And it just makes me so happy.
The other thing I was going to say is, when they have these like special pay-per-views with like War Games matches and things where there's always a men's and a women's like Elimination Chamber and things like that, more so the War Games and Hell in a Cell things, like if they were going to do like the War Games matches, if they didn't have something built for the women's, we'd probably be more than happy with one quality male like War Games match and a few good individual women's matches just to make up, rather than throwing random women together just to make a match.
I think one thing. Sorry, you want to go then?
No, you could go either way with it. It's one of those things. I think I think you're kind of put in a corner where people are going to be mad if you don't, because you're just
can't win either way.
Yeah, I agree. I was just going to say as well too. I think one thing that's really missing from this for me is like a sense of urgency. I would love for an announcement to be made. The winner of the women's War Games team gets this as a result of winning.
Yeah.
I would love there to be an incentive behind, okay, guys, we need to come together. We need to win this match because this is what we get if we win, kind of thing,
Yeah.
I feel like just because that's not there, sure, we are getting storylines moving forward, and that's absolutely fine by me. I love to see that character progression, and I love to see where we're going to be in 6 months from now. Yeah. But I would just love to see the team really come together and just really be like, come on, guys, we got this. We need to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a situation where if one of the team wins, they get an advantage towards the Royal Rumble, or they get an advantage towards the draft, or something like that. Some form of incentive to make them really want to come together and win the match. It's not just about beating the other team,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Anyway. Right, if we have nothing else to say about the women, shall we move on to another match?
Just
before we do go, I have Ross and Reese's predictions wrote down here.
Oh, yes, we'll go through those two.
Both Ross and Reese have also said Team Rhea, which is interesting. So 3 of us for Rhea, 2 of you for Liv. So it's a bit of a mixed bag there. There's a lot going on.
You take care of Dominic, I take care of her. That's how this goes.
Okay.
Right. So the next match we will go on to is the United States Championship match, which is LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Court, do you want to go first on this one?
I will. I feel like this match was meant to happen, but it just feels really rushed for me. It feels like Shinsuke came back 2 weeks ago. He attacked LA Knight. Understand that. And then there was a moment that happened last week. But Shinsuke's come back as this different version of himself. And we don't know why. We don't know how this character has come about. We don't know how he's changed from, what's happened from when we last saw him on TV to now. There's no real reason behind us. There's no way that we've found out why this has happened, why his character has shifted in the way that it is. And there's no way that we've been able to attach ourselves to that character before he's decided to go up against LA Knight. I understand why he's doing it, but for me, I'm questioning, like, how do we explain Shinsuke's character? And I've seen a lot of people go ahead and say, well, Shinsuke's just come back and 2 weeks later, he's already got a United States champion, position for a title match. Yeah, that's understandable. He's gone ahead and attacked the champion. The champion's a fighting champion. That's exactly what happens. I just am concerned that they've tried to speed run this feud that could have potentially been saved for a Royal Rumble or for Saturday night's main event, or I don't know, the first SmackDown of the year. I'm confused of how this goes, because I am concerned with LA Knight's championship reign. I feel like they haven't really had anybody prepped, ready to go after other contenders for the title, to the point where kind of like, well, what's LA Knight up to? I feel like they don't want to take it off him, but then I also prefer LA Knight chasing a championship. I feel like he does a better job chasing the title than holding it. And that's not his fault by any means. I just think WWE Creative just hasn't really been helping him out in that sense by having people ready to go. I'm going to go with LA Knight to retain, but my only concern is that if LA Knight does retain, what does this do for Shinsuke Nakamura moving forward? Because the amount of times where Shinsuke, yes, I see your face there.
Lost,
the amount of times that Shinsuke has lost in these moments where he's needed to win, you can't keep putting somebody in this position where we actually do want to see Shinsuke win. I want to see Shinsuke win. I really do. I love Shinsuke Nakamura, and I feel like he really deserves this. He should be a world champion at this point within his career, but the amount of times he has lost these moments that genuinely matter, it really makes me question WWE's creative and like what they see for him moving forward. Because if you don't believe in Shinsuke and you're showing that to me, like, why should I don't want to say why should I care, but why should I continue to want to support somebody if you're not going to help elevate them up the card? Because I know we all want to see Shinsuke do well.
Yeah.
They put him in these situations all the time that really just, he comes out of the other side just not looking any better.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes away for 6 months and then comes back repackaged and they do the exact same thing again. Like, how do you help Shinsuke become a world champion, I think, is what we all want to know.
It's quite a common pattern with a few wrestlers, I think.
Yeah,
I think we're past the point of return for a world champion Shinsuke, unfortunately. But
but you see what I mean? Like, this should have happened by now. This should have happened, and it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. Like, it's just.
I'm just.
Go on, Van.
I don't know. I want some sort of character motivation for this man, because this is the coolest presentation Shinsuke Nakamura has ever had. He went from, when he feuded with Seth Rollins last year, literally anime villain Shinsuke Nakamura. Now we have Sith Lord Shinsuke Nakamura, and he looks awesome. The black robes, the like scar looking thing on his face. He looks awesome.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't really know, like I would love some sort of like, after I lost to Seth Rollins, like, I went and did this in Japan and like unlocked this potential inside of me, or something like that.
You just need something to explain what's happened.
How this man has come back looking like the next Disney Star Wars villain. I need to know. But despite that, I don't know his motivation, which is okay. Other than LA Knight, you're insecure or whatever. I am very excited for the match. I am also very nervous for the match because Shinsuke Nakamura is awesome. Should have won the title at WrestleMania 34. Should have beaten Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. So many of these big opportunities. He's kind of like the villain. I hope they don't treat him like the villain of the month. Because LA Knight, unfortunately, kind of has a dry mid-card right now. It's Santos Escobar, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes, which are all three great talent. That's just, you can't have a rotation of three people in a mid card.
No.
You can't have Shinsuke lose. I don't want to do it. I don't want to pick Shinsuke to lose. I don't want to. Like send this man out with a lightsaber or something at Survivor Series. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm going with Shinsuke. Shinsuke's gonna do it.
I love it.
Go with your gut.
You can't have him lose. You can't bring him back and lose again.
You can't.
But they're gonna make him lose. But I want him to win so badly.
But that's the thing, is like none of this, the accolades that we've mentioned, none of the losses in Shinsuke's past are his fault. That's why I just want to make abundantly clear. As you can tell, Van loves Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke Nakamura too.
If Ross is here, he loves Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I just don't understand how they keep fumbling this man. It's pretty simple.
Oh yeah.
It is, yeah.
Maybe it's an Easter egg towards WWE going on to Disney Plus if he's coming out looking like a
Oh
Sith Lord.
no.
No, don't do that.
Like we say this in like 2 years from now, it actually happens, and I'm like, guys, I said this on the Survivor Series 2024 predictions.
You don't know the power of the dark side, LA Knight.
But yeah, like I feel the same as you guys. They keep bumbling Shinsuke, and I just feel like there's no like direction for him. As
There's
much
no
I absolutely love LA Knight. I feel like he needs to do more, but that's it's not his fault. Like that's obviously creative and booking and stuff like that. So, but I am gonna go for LA Knight to retain, even though it shouldn't be. But I think LA Knight's gonna retain. In terms of Ross and Reese has also picked LA Knight to retain. Russ, you know where he's gone.
He's gone for Santos Escobar.
Roman Reigns.
Does he even know that he's not in the match? Stupid.
Roman Reigns.
Oh,
Sorry, I'll have to send Ross a message when Shinsuke loses and be like, how does it feel?
How does it feel, bro? Right, moving on, we will go to the World Heavyweight Championship match, which is Gunther, our current champion, versus Damian Priest. Van, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, I can. This has been the most fun I've had with Gunther. I love Gunther. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He's been
he's great.
He's a legend in the ring. I've loved his promos. I actually showed my family the Bret Hart promo.
No.
You're my favorite. The amount of times I just talk in Gunther's promo voice, it's scary. Randy, you think you're the best, but you're not. Anytime now, I'm kind of traumatized from the whole Goldberg thing. That anytime Gunther has a match, I'm terrified Goldberg's going to come out. But
please don't.
I have loved this Gunther where he's genuinely like the only thing that can beat him. No one's able to beat him physically. No one's able to beat him in the ring. They've kind of explored like when you get under pressure and someone kicks out of your big moves, like you kind of like get insecure and like can't handle it in a match with Sami Zayn, and then both Cody Rhodes kind of went along the same thing. And now that's kind of evolved to where now he's just you can tell he's not like he mental block. He's not the same guy. Like telling Ludwig Kaiser off, and Damien's taking advantage of it. Do I think there's going to be a title change? No. Although, because I am the resident Dominic Mysterio fan, there's a bigger chance Dominic gets a match and beats Damien than Gunther. So I'm okay with it going either way because I think Damien's done really well in this feud. But I don't see Gunther dropping the title yet. I just don't see it happening.
That's fair. Cool.
I've actually also really enjoyed this. I think it's been adding a different layer to Gunther's character. We obviously know him as the ring general. We know how dominant he is, but we have not seen the side of him where he gets rattled by something that happens. And I've really loved to see it. And I feel like a lot of the times where he has been rattled by somebody else beating him, he's come back in the second time and he's beaten them. Obviously, the way that he beat Damien was obviously not 100% a clean win because Finn Balor came out and helped out Gunther in that case by, betraying Damien. So I feel like this is a wrong that Gunther needs to right. But the fact of the matter is he's realized he's not as dominant as what he thinks he is because Damien is very strong. And Damien's actually come out of the Survivor or the SummerSlam loss a lot stronger than what he went going into it. A lot more people are behind him, which is awesome to see. I'm so happy about that. I feel like Gunther is steps in those four ropes and he's just going to absolutely wreak shop. I've got Gunther on this one. He's not losing that title anytime soon. But like I say, I've really enjoyed this. But I am scared that Goldberg is going to have his last match against Gunther.
Please don't.
Because Goldberg ain't going to go out on his back for this one. I swear.
Stop saying his name.
Is it like Beetlejuice when you say the name 3 times and he appears behind you?
Please stop saying his name.
No. Gage, get him, Gage.
Try to say BG instead.
I'm terrified. I just had this thought.
No, please don't.
Can we just get him versus John Cena because they're both retiring next year?
During the match, Or after the match, Goldberg comes out. and
No,
talks to them.
don't say it. Don't
For, like,
manifest
Royal
it.
Rumble or
Don't think
something.
about it. Stop.
It's gonna happen. I don't want it.
It's gonna be Goldberg rules. Yeah.
At least, wow,
Seen that.
Look at your boy now, Gage.
if Goldberg and Gunther have a match, at least we know it'll last like 10 seconds. Goldberg will spear and Gunther will beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but who's gonna
What
win
if he
that?
wins, though? What if he wins?
No, not my
Your
boy
check
Gunther.
ever 1, 2, 3, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Ross would be so pissed if that happened. I swear he would actually lose
I
his
can't
mind.
even like think about Goldberg. He makes me so angry. Don't get me wrong, Goldberg is Goldberg, but I hate him so
What do you mean? Cena
But
Goldberg
She's
is the match
she's
at
still
Mania.
upset about him beating Bray. That's why.
Cena,
Stop!
nah,
It
Cena
should have
Goldberg is the
never
Mania match.
happened.
Hey, look, you're not
buried him.
you're not the only person who thinks that.
Buried him.
I know. But yeah, I got Gunther for this one.
I got Gunther too.
Nice.
Twit
What is
connected.
what a reason Ross have?
They've also put Gunther. Yeah. Anyway,
Nice.
I'll actually give my little explanation rather than just going, I've got Gunther.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. So I've really been enjoying everything that's going on as well from what I've seen in the highlights. I love Gunther as champion. I love Gunther in general. He is a great character. He really, really knows how to work his promos. He knows how to work in the ring. He is literally on top of top. And we said this months and months and months ago before he even won the world title champion that is where he belongs. And it shows now. It shows that it is where he belongs. So I'm very glad that they pulled the trigger on that eventually. And I don't want him to lose yet. I don't want him to lose the title yet. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Gunther to win as well.
So going off that then, who in a serious conversation, who do you think is next for Gunther? Because I've been Gunther versus
Gonna
Gunther.
be Goldberg.
No, because I've been hearing that people have been saying that Gunther and CM Punk are going to go up against each other on the first episode of Raw on Netflix.
I think.
I know.
I think Punk's gonna be doing SmackDown stuff for a little bit. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be one off.
I think so too, but that's just what. Well, who do you think is next for Gunther then on Raw? If you're going to give me a serious answer,
it could be a Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
For a one-off feud. They could do anything. They could give it to do a little mini tournament and give it to literally anybody on the Raw has such a big roster. Sheamus
Breaker would be.
Yeah, if it depends on what happens with that IC title, but I'd be down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to Tozawa.
What do you think, Court?
Oh, give Dom Mysterio a go, I swear.
Yes!
Dom's winning.
I don't see why not.
Dom's finishing the story, brother.
I think they should put a belt on him right now.
Give him the 24/7 title.
The pain in my soul when Dominic
got
pinned by Damian in the Fatal 4-Way. I was so pissed.
I wanted to see it just for a laugh, though. I didn't actually think he was going to win, but I was I just want to see it for him.
I think Dom has a better chance of beating Gunther than Damian does. Imagine how funny it would be if Gunther's like in his head about not being able to win and he gets rolled up by Dominic Mysterio. Imagine how funny that Gunther would lose his mind.
A great feud because
Gunther would lose his mind.
Yeah, it makes for a great feud because Gunther's like, why would I even go against you? You're literally nothing. And then Dom just like,
literally,
you don't even know who your dad is, and then like, oh, we shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. But
no.
I need a Rey Mysterio Gunther feud actually.
Yeah,
that would be so funny.
That would be good.
My real favorite wrestler, your son, Dominic Mysterio.
Just look up at him like this.
It's like when Nick Aldis was introduced on SmackDown as the GM, and then Dom came out and Nick was like, "Oh, I'm a really big fan of your dad."
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
Good.
Madness.
So good.
Right, let's move on to the Intercontinental Championship then, since we were just speaking about that. So we have Braun Breaker, our current IC champion, versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. I'm going to go first on this one because, well, there's a Sheamus.
I already know what she's saying.
There's a G, and I'm sorry, but y'all are sleeping on Sheamus. He is like, chef's kiss. He needs to win because Sheamus is fabulous. Sheamus is good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's good at everything. And he needs that IC win because, Grand Slam champion. And I really want him to be a Grand Slam. What does it count now? Because with the new belts and things.
I don't know.
Really know.
I find it really hard to keep up with these things. Like I said, I can barely keep up with the women's War Games match.
All I know is that Sheamus needed the IC to become a Grand Slam.
Can I just say that the idea of Grand Slam champion to me is the most overrated thing ever. I don't know why. I could not people. The Grand Slam. I'm like, I don't care if Cena becomes a Grand Slam. I don't care. Like it'd be cool, but
out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The IC.
I agree,
but I want Sheamus to win because I love Sheamus, and that's all you need to know.
Is that what you think's gonna happen, or what you want to happen?
Both. I think Sheamus is gonna absolutely beat the shit out of the other two.
Really?
I'd love to see it.
I've put Sheamus to win. I have genuinely put Sheamus to win.
I respect it.
Going with my heart. I'm going with my gut.
I'll tell you who I think is gonna win.
That goes then on for me to saying Braun to move up to the world heavyweight because if he loses, then I don't know. I just feel like they are sleeping on Sheamus and he needs a little bit more.
Do you think Ludwig's taking the pen then? I would assume.
No, please no.
It would have to, wouldn't it?
Ludwig.
It would have to.
No.
He would have to. If with Braun going up to the world, he would have to take the pen. And I think he can take a pen. Ludwig has to take pens.
You guys talk about people sleeping on Sheamus. People be out here sleeping on Ludwig Kaiser all the time.
To be fair, there is three great men in this match.
I love
I've
Ludwig.
been respecting Ludwig Kaiser's game.
Mm-hmm. Go on then, Van. Give us your thoughts.
As much as I would love to pick Kaiser to win, game respects game. Anyone who pulls Tiffany Stratton has my utmost respect.
Literally, I mean, come on.
Have you seen her?
And
Chef's kiss.
But I can't imagine Kaiser winning this. I think he's there to take the pen. As much as I love him, I think the story is going to be Braun Breaker Sheamus moving forward. Do I think it's going to be here? I don't, because 2 back-to-back 1 month IC title reigns for Braun Breaker would be a little weird. I could see him dropping in a Royal Rumble, but I think the dogs are going to come in and they're going to come barking at Survivor Series, brother. But
yeah,
that's fair.
The most important part, I don't care who wins. All I care about is if we get a backstage Steiner Math promo. It's a triple threat match. Triple H, book it. We have a TNA NXT partnership. I need to see this man back. Caleb Braxton coming up to this man. Braun Breaker, you have a triple threat match against Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus tonight. He said, you see, Caleb, when you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. You look at me and you look at Sheamus, and you could...
Oh, God.
Just make it happen, please.
I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal.
Me when I look in the mirror every morning.
Oh my God.
I needed Braun Breaker Steiner Math promo. It's a triple threat for a title. It's got to happen.
That would be so funny.
So just confirm your pick to win.
I'm going with Braun Breaker. Dogs are barking this weekend.
Go on then, Court.
Oh, so I don't sleep on Sheamus. I'm just letting y'all know. I relate to Sheamus because I am also of Irish descent. The pale skin sees the pale skin, right? I have that in me too, but thank goodness the brown comes out. But anyway, I want to see Sheamus become IC champ. I want to see him become a Grand Slam champion. I just don't think it's happening right now. I really would love to see that happen at WrestleMania because that would be such a crowning moment for him and for his career. Yeah. He doesn't need to hold it for long, but just so he can tick that accolade off his list, that's fine. I also love Kaiser so much, and I really just feel like he is incredibly slept on, and he's always used to take the pin, and it breaks my heart because I want to see him win, but I don't think this is his time either. I've got Braun on this one. I feel like Braun is an insanely dominant IC champ, and I know that a lot of people are saying, well, he's already a 2-time IC champ. I think him dropping that title to Jay, not only in that moment helped Jay, but it also helped Bron. It gave Bron more edge to him, more unpredictability, and then it also helped out Jay because now going into the next match that we talk about, it helps out Jay in terms of his credibility towards that bloodline situation. So it's helped him, it's helped elevate him up the card a little bit more. Like I say, Bron on this one, I feel like we may see Bron and Sheamus at some other point in time to kind of blow the feud off, and then maybe that's when we see Sheamus become Intercontinental Champion. But like, please, in 2025, please just like treat Ludwig Kaiser with like a little bit more respect, please. I swear.
Hey, I've got
it's so hard out here being a Kaiser fan. Like, it's actually heartbreaking.
Do we think that Braun Breaker is gonna sell that corner spear at all during the match? I would imagine you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Speared the
I would
corner.
like to see.
Did you see that? He speared the corner of the announce table. It's brutal.
Yeah.
I would imagine, like, even if he comes out with like tape over his, like, it was that brutal, and it's been talked enough on the internet where I would imagine you have to sell it a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I screamed when that happened. I was like, oh my gosh.
In terms of Reese and Ross, they have also both gone for Braun Breaker.
Whoa.
I'm the little odd one out right now.
Whoa.
Imagine if you were right out of all of us and we were wrong.
I know I'm not going to be, but I just want to. I'm doing.
You will be one day, though. I promise. One day you'll be right.
I just want to go with my heart.
Banger after banger.
A banger after banger. Anyway, let's move on to our final match for the card, which is the men's war games. We have OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline. In the New Bloodline, we have Solo Sikoa. I don't know who else. Why is my mind just gone like blank? No. Tonga, Tangaloa, Jacob Fatu, and Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then the new OG Bloodline is Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and the one and only Mr. Punk.
Honestly.
Let's go. And I assume Paul Heyman will be around as well. Van, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can do that. I will be honest, I'm kind of terrified by the fact that Paul Heyman was matching Solo Sikoa with that little tux and
I was just gonna say that
little red thing in the handkerchief in his pocket. That was like really like he didn't even try to make it subtle. Like it was dead on the same suit. I don't know if it would make sense. The only way that makes sense for me is if The Rock like pulls some stuff backstage with like, I'll pay you everything if you do this, or like you're fired they'll pull the TKO thing and like you're fired if you don't do it or whatever. It's like you count the 10 and I'll fire you or whatever he said at WrestleMania. It's gonna be a brutal match. I think it's gonna be fun. Bronson Reed just fits with that group. Just mannerisms, regardless of him being Samoan. I think his mannerisms just really fit with the group. His brutality. I need a tsunami off the top of the cage. I need it. I need it in my life. I need it injected in my veins.
That would be wild.
I think we're gonna have a little like CM Punk Roman thing throughout the match. They're supposed to have some sit down talk on SmackDown. I know it's pre-recorded. I have not seen it or heard of any.
It's pre-recorded.
Yeah, SmackDown this week.
I haven't seen anything from it either.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
That won't last very long. Live streaming does that.
You watch me come off this podcast now. I'll go straight to TikTok and something will pop up straight away.
No, I think it's going to be a fun match. The story is going to be Punk and I think I'm kind of worried by the fact that I think the story is going to be surrounded by Punk and Roman more so than Roman and Solo. But we've already had 2 or 3 matches with it being OG versus New Bloodline. Even before Sammy was involved. So I think we're kind of killing time at this point until The Rock comes back full time or whatever his limited schedule is going to be, because we've gotten the Crown Jewel, the Bad Blood. They both traded.
Wow. Yeah.
And so it kind of seems like the match is sort of redundant because there's no stakes other than let's wear them down a little bit. Which is, I mean, I would have loved even like an Ula Fala thing or something on the line.
Custody of the Ula Fala.
So I think this match is going to be primarily story progression with Paul Heyman. I think is kind of in my eyes, is going to be the main character of this.
Look at me.
I was gonna say the new bloodline was gonna win until Paul Heyman came back. I'm gonna go with the OG bloodline. I don't think you can make him lose twice in a row.
Nope.
I hope Sammy does something crazy. I hope Bronson does something crazy. I hope Tonga Loa botches and is the gym he is. And I'm just gonna be sitting on the edge of my seat praying that Paul Heyman doesn't break my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an intense match for sure. Main event, I definitely think this will be main event.
100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if it main evented.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I'm confused, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just confused why my boy Paul Heyman came out dressing up like Solo Sikoa. I'm also so confused as to why Seth Rollins hasn't said anything about not only Bronson Reed going on the new Bloodline team, but why he hasn't said anything about CM Punk joining Roman's team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. Why has that not been? Why did they not do anything on Raw this week with that?
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. No.
Okay.
That's exactly why I'm saying I don't think he was.
I think that's fine. Just to keep him off. I think that's fine to keep him off completely. But
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
I just, if we're trying to interweave these storylines, I don't understand why he wasn't concerned. Okay, guys, I know I didn't want to be on the team, but how the hell, there's so much history also between the Shield and CM Punk as well too.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the point. I'm going to go with the babyface team on this one. I'm going to go with the OG bloodline. I think you do not have somebody come in like a CM Punk to help out the team of Roman Reigns and have his team lose. I think if we've got the women's heel team wins, the men's babyface team wins. I think that's how it kind of works. I'm really struggling to keep up with this whole bloodline thing, and I feel like it's a good thing that Reese isn't here because he would probably give me a virtual slap on the wrist.
3 hour timeline talk of what's going on.
Hey, well, look, WWE's already posted a full blown history of the bloodline on their channel, so I can just go and watch that if I need to.
Join the streams.
Links in the comments. We'll put the link.
I think it's just really interesting as well too how I don't know if you guys caught it at the end of SmackDown how Roman and Punk were talking to each other and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm with my boy." It's going to be interesting, and I think this is maybe a way that we get a bit of a break from the bloodline storyline as we know it, in terms of Roman stepping out of that for a little bit and working with CM Punk if they have a match at the Rumble, and then going back into bloodline maybe around in the road to WrestleMania time. We can start to kind of tie the loose ends. How does Rock lean into all this kind of thing? I just don't fucking know.
Courtney, do you expect Seth to get in? Because I know you talked a lot about them not referencing Seth on Raw, which I think it would have been weird if he was on the show and they didn't say anything about it. I think it's fine they kept him off. He was pissed. You can just say he's pissed off and stayed at home. Do you think he's going to get involved at all on Saturday?
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised because it's technically the last time we saw both of them interact like that was when Punk had returned at Survivor Series. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a wee little, Easter egg to that,
and then
a wee little reminder moment on commentary.
If he does come out, does he go after Bronson or Punk?
I think he still has unfinished business with Bronson, but I feel as though they can tease something between him and Punk because I know that they want to do that at some point in time. But there is unfinished business with him and Bronson, and also they can explore something with Roman and Punk, and then that kind of all leans back into WrestleMania. If Rollins and Punk are kind of both free around that time, we can have that storyline come back into place. Because if Roman's going to be going up against the Bloodline again, if Rock finds his way into it, that occupies that side of things.
It wouldn't make sense for Seth to come out and not go for Bronson, considering they're in the middle of a feud right now. If he comes out and goes for CM Punk, then that just completely annihilates and ruins everything going on with Bronson right now. It doesn't make sense for them to put another thing in place when we already have something in place.
I would argue that it makes it that him and Roman have had a bigger overarching feud over the past 10 years, still technically going on than him and Bronson. Yeah. I think that's a cool thing where he could mess with both teams.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He messes with the new bloodline because he's taking out one of their people, and then messes with the old bloodline because the likes of Roman and Punk are going to be like, what the hell, you're not even on the team, like, we don't need your help, like, what are you doing? You're going into business for yourself, kind of thing.
I just pictured Jey Uso, Sam, what you doing, Us? His like face acting, you know, what are you doing? Why'd you do that?
What are you doing, Us?
I don't know.
I love him.
So much can go on here, I think.
There is so many endless possibilities of things they could build, outcomes for this match. You know, like there's so much that could happen and go on. I have also gone for an OG bloodline. It's so hard for me. Like I've got Jey Uso on one side, Tonga on the other side. What team do I even pick at this point?
Tonga Loa takes the pin, though, I think.
Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. That song is so good, and I don't know why they couldn't bring it to WWE.
I don't know. Well, Death River would have messed it up, I reckon, if they had the opportunity to. They would take it and they'd go, "This song's good. No, we're going to change it."
Completely off topic. I'm hoping we were saying earlier, we were hoping with the fact that Netflix are taking over, that then we might get some more budget for better songs and themes and stuff.
Aren't they working with more like proper artists and not
I've seen
contracts?
Something, yeah.
Because I heard that Travis Scott's getting the new Raw theme song.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I would imagine we'll get some more. I've made too many TikToks making fun of Def Rebel. I can't keep rinsing it, but it's
Same here. I can't take it seriously.
It was too easy. It was too easy.
They make it so easy for themselves.
Yeah, and then oh my god, I literally posted a TikTok. I know we've gone completely off topic, but I literally posted a TikTok yesterday morning. Like it was Trash or Fire wrestling theme songs, and I was trashing a load of theme songs. And somebody come in my comments going, "So you're just one of them? You just like the popular ones?" I went, "No, Def Rebel are just shit."
Hey, you gotta tell them how it is.
No lies were told in the response, though.
You don't like Bailey's theme song?
No, I don't, because Bailey's theme song was fine. And then they just went and added role model and then switched it up. Like
somebody literally come in my comments like, "Oh, you're supposed to be a Bailey advocate and you don't like her theme song?" No, Def Rebel is shit.
I can't deal with
People
it.
just get pressed about the wrong thing in this life.
You make any reference of Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan on a TikTok live stream, and you think I've started nuclear warfare or something.
My favorite thing to do is piss off Liv Morgan fans. It's actually my favorite thing to do.
Literally. Anyway, back on topic. So I went for the OG bloodline. Reese has also gone for the OG bloodline. Ross has played sides a little bit. And he's gone for team solo.
Ew, what?
Come on. He's a Jacob Fatu fan. You know that.
So am I. But I can see clearly. Yeah. I love you, Solo.
Can obviously the other two can we all make side predictions if we think The Rock's going to be there by the end of the night?
I was going to say, does anybody else have any other thoughts or comments? And I was going to say, I think The Rock might show up.
I don't know.
Pending what happens in that match.
I just want Maui to stay as far away from Survivor Series.
He comes out in the Maui muscle suit.
I think that's why he's so in and out at the moment, because obviously they were recording that, but that's out and the film is out now. Oh no, that's number 2. He's doing the live action, isn't he? So I think maybe they may finish filming that by the end of the year, and then he'll be back come January. I reckon they would have him in the Raw premiere because it makes sense being such a big name and stuff. I reckon he comes back in January for that premiere, and then up to WrestleMania, where inevitably we get Roman versus Rock.
Do you think they ever explain the bad blood thing? I don't think they ever referenced it. No one ever referenced it. I think they should have saved it for Survivor Series of him coming out and looking at Roman or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Solo did the whole this is part of the plan or whatever in the crowd that they picked up. No one ever referenced it ever of Solo saying this is part of the plan. It's gonna break my heart if Paul Heyman doesn't come out during the match. You hear "ladies and gentlemen," and then he comes out, points to the screen,
Rock.
and The Rock comes out.
That'd be cool.
It would be sick. It would be sick. But I would imagine he's probably going to be there.
I think he will.
All I want to say is I hope everybody in this lifetime finds somebody who loves their significant other like Jacob Fatu loves Solo Sikoa.
Amen. Amen.
Like, that's all we deserve in this lifetime.
Russ needs to start coming in and going, I love you, G.
Or if you guys ever get married, he'll put it in his vows, I bet you. I love you, G.
He just opens his like speech with like, I love you, G.
No, it's like the officiant. It's like Ross is a man of very few words, and then he goes, "I love you."
If y'all get married, it has to be. That has to be your vow. It's like, all right, it's time for your vows. G, I love you.
Wait, now TikTok's power couple has to do that. I swear.
Do you know what? I've just come up with a brilliant idea for a TikTok. Oh, Russ is gonna hate me so much.
Wait, it's gonna be like that one where you like did the "What's Love supposed to do with it?" Like that one that you did like last year or something. And I can't remember who. I think it was about Jey Uso. And then you had shown him before we started the podcast, and I screen recorded it. And he's like swearing. And he's like, "Why the fuck did you put it like that?" He's like, I do it for you, and you do it.
It's just a Liv Morgan fan edit. It's not that big of a deal.
No. So good.
I've got a great idea. Keep your eyes on my TikTok channel, guys.
I don't know. I don't know. Anything else that could happen?
No, I don't really know. Like, other than returns, The Rock, I don't really see anybody else come in anywhere, really.
I think regardless of what happens, people are going to be upset because nothing's going to beat CM Punk last year, and people are going to expect something like that, and you're not going to get that return.
It's not, no.
Not
that it would top that one anyway, because it's been an entire year since CM Punk's been back. It's been great.
I got Snapchat memories yesterday. I went to the Raw after Survival Series last year in Nashville, and I had Snapchat memories from like I'd seen CM Punk in AEW and WWE in the same year. Super.
I literally have never seen him live, and I'm so pissed. And I've got to make it happen.
I was so sad he wasn't at Chamber. I was like, that's actually so fucking disappointing.
He just hurt himself. Because
the thing is, he got announced for it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, like this back. Yeah, they announced it on his Twitter, on WWE's Twitter before the Rumble, and then he got injured at Rumble.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that was when Elimination Chamber was looking real bleak.
I was thinking we would have won the Chamber match with whatever the original plan was, but we ended up getting something better, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We absolutely did.
Wow.
Do we think we see Drew McIntyre
at all? Seen him for a while.
Can I say I have heard rumors that Drew McIntyre is going to come back and feud with Wade Barrett?
I would love that. That would be awesome.
I like that.
I would love it too. I would love it too. They've made references to like their history and stuff before Drew went away, and I think Wade's been cleared to compete. So I would love to see that.
That would be cool. I would
my last conversation piece is: do we see any debuts or returns from like AEW or something? Because I know Ricky Starks is on the outs. I know Rusev isn't re-signing with AEW, and so he's a free agent.
Oh, I saw CJ Perry post the other day saying, "Where do I go? AEW or WWE?" I was like, "What? Are you just baiting here now?"
Sorry, I love Lana, but I'm okay without her on TV.
That whole Ricky Starks thing, I fell down a rabbit hole with that. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand how you have somebody on your roster like a Ricky Starks and you haven't used them since March, and then he goes off and does his own like booking because he's like, bro, I want to wrestle, I want to do my own thing, and then his wrestling dates get like cut.
Madness.
Tony, what the fuck are you doing?
Tony, hit him with that doesn't work for me, brother.
Just let the man go. Let him go. Just let him go. He can go to NXT.
So this is a question that's dominated my my Twitch streams recently. Is it Undertaker's gong or Undertaker's dong?
Excuse me?
I think you've heard it.
Is it Undertaker's gong or Undertaker's dong?
It's gong.
It's gong.
Because gong is like the
instrument. Answers before, so.
Oh, I bet you have had conflicting answers. People are gross. It's a gong. G-O-N-G.
Yeah.
People say the sound differently. Like sometimes like gong, dong.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah. People are
Nice.
weird. Like, just get
So,
right.
if we have no other thoughts, then I think we will wrap it up here.
I got nothing else to say.
Whoop, whoop. Yes, guys. So that has been our very short and very sweet Survivor Series predictions. Hopefully next time we will have a full gang. Next time we will be in 2025 because we don't have nothing now till Royal Rumble, do we? So not
unless we talk about Saturday night's main event, because they're trying to put that as like on a PLE level.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
on, at least in the US, it's on primetime NBC, which is gonna reach probably 3 times what it gets right now. The amount of people.
Yeah, it'll reach the network in the middle of next year.
No, because the network's dead after next year. We'll have to just use our sites to find it and watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. So that's been our Survivor Series predictions. We will have the results for who has won the like guessing thing of the year. They will be coming on our last episode in December, which I think is about the 19th or something.
Let's go,
but
guests. Let's go.
keep an eye. The guests are very close at the moment. They are in second place. So Van, you've got to pull this out for the guests.
I did my due diligence at WrestleMania, so I got.
You did. You actually really did. You really did.
So, yeah, stay tuned. Keep an eye on our social medias. They are all linked below in the comments. You can find us on YouTube, of course, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Outcasted OC. And yeah, Van, do you want to quickly plug your socials again?
Yeah, of course. On TikTok, Vanvleet WWE, VANVLEET. You see it right here. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, literally YouTube, any streaming platform, Vanvleet. My YouTube is Vanvleet TV, and my Twitch is Vanvleet WWE. And if you really want to use code Vanvleet in your Fortnite item shop, you are more than happy to.
Go, 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 go. But yeah, that has been us, and we will see you next Thursday. We are back to Thursday next week. Next Thursday for our Survivor Series afterthoughts, and hopefully we'll have a full gang back then. So yeah, hope everybody enjoys the pay-per-view tomorrow. I think it's a midnight start for the UK, but don't quote me. I will tell you on TikTok. Go find out there. So yeah, bye guys.
Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by